Hey everyone, this is Brian from Bear Bull Traders here, Sunday, March the 14th. And it's hard to believe we're almost a quarter of the way through 2021. But is what it is, time's flying, and we turn the clocks back, which means summer's almost upon us, which is another more good news, especially for us that live up in the colder climates. So let's take a look at the week that was and get down to business here and kind of look ahead, see what we got coming down the pipe this week. And we do have some things coming up. We've got the Federal Reserve, the FOMC, has had a meeting this week, and I believe that Jay Powell is going to actually be talking, which could be disastrous for the market, or it might be a non-event. It's hard to say. Sometimes when he starts talking, things tend to go sideways or down, as it may. So we'll see what happens there. The other thing I'm really watching here is interest rates on the different treasuries, especially the long end of the curve here. Right now in the pre-market, looks like we're down a little bit. We did pop up on Friday, back up to the highs. And really, even though that happened, the Qs kind of shrugged it off, which was kind of made me think that, like a lot of these things, it just doesn't matter what, in the end, what things are going on. It seems like the market just wants to go higher. But right now, we've got this looking pretty good. The pre-market. Looking good right now. We've got 100-point opening on the Dow and S&P, Russell, even the NASDAQ is looking fairly strong at this point. So it looks like we're going to have a green opening if things stay the same all the way to the morning here. So let's go through some of the stock charts, particularly related to the indexes, and see where we've been, where we might be going next week. And we'll start it with the TLT, the price of the bonds. You can see here really took a hit on Friday. Again, yields going higher again, but as we'll go through the different indexes, we'll see the Qs kind of shrug that one off. So after kind of reacting negatively to this downtrend that we've been having earlier in the week and last week. So you can see here the yield curve is still heading higher. Again, challenging for tech stocks that are the high PE multiple companies. Again, you can see here the 10-year on the daily still going higher, pushing higher. Every pullback is just a pause to refresh to go higher. And you can see on the weekly here, we're still going higher here, and we're getting pretty overbought here on the 10-year. We might be due for a bit of a pullback, or at least I was looking at this 10.75, 10.8 as being an area where we might see some pretty significant resistance. Again, we are pretty overbought here on the yields. So we'll see what happens next week, but maybe we'll get a bit of a topping action, and that'll give the Qs a little bit of a boost here. The technology sector. You can see the transports, again, growth versus value stocks. Transports going up. I believe Nike and FedEx are reporting this week, so the FedEx earnings numbers should be interesting. And again, we're getting over into the overbought area. Volume's been pretty steady here. It picked up a little bit on Friday. Let's take a look at the weekly. Again, breaking out last week to an all-time high. Again, getting a little overbought here, and stochastics, MACD, all showing pretty overbought. So I'm not really sure if FedEx is going to be one of those ones where all the good stuff's priced in and people are going to take profits after. So something to be aware of. The Dow, again, Friday breaking to an all-time high, went out pretty close to a high of day there. The only thing you can say about this that's negative is the volume is every day this last week was dropping off. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to go higher, but again, a little bit of a flag. Weekly, again, you can see up 4%, over 4% on the week. Very clean breakout here on volume. So everything's looking pretty good for the transports and the Dow to go higher here. Again, the Qs have been sort of the real tail, and with the interest rates creeping up here, you can see how the Qs have responded with the the stocks with the high flyers with the high price to earning multiples, again selling off pretty hard. So on the Friday we did have a bit of a comeback. So I'm jury's out as to whether this is just a V reversal or possibly just a bear flag. We had a bear flag here, further down, so we'll be seeing what's happened here. But certainly this is an area where we would expect to see some support. You can see high volume bar here, volume shelf. There's been a lot of buying and selling in this area, so that usually indicates an area of support. It also, we've got some levels here where we've had support, prior support, and here as well, a little bit higher. So we'll see if the Qs can hold, and if the yields start to stabilize in this area, maybe the Qs start to go higher again. Certainly stochastics have been really oversold, and this would have been a good place to actually pick stuff up here. MACD turning up, and the histogram is going from negative to positive, so Qs actually looking more positive than they have in the last week or so, last couple of weeks. Let's just say we had an up week this week, 2.2%. Volume was pretty good. So maybe we're finding a bit of a bottom here on the Qs. Stochastics, yeah, I would like, if we really see a bottom, like you get the stochastics down here in the 20s, that's really usually a good area to start picking up shares. A long way from there right now. The SPY, again, daily, strong day on Friday, strong day Thursday. We had a pretty significant pullback on Thursday, but Qs held in there. Volume was pretty light on Friday. The Qs, again, looks like an all-time high. Yep, all-time high on the Qs, up 2.7% on the week. Nothing to not like about this chart. If you're a bull, just keeps grinding higher. And weekly, we pretty decent volume, better than the last couple months here. So last couple weeks have been pretty significant volumes, and yeah, the Qs look like they're going to continue higher. RSI, bit of another bottom here, double bottom, and looking like it's hooking up. IWM breaking out pretty much every day this last week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Every day was pretty much an up day after this bit of a sell-off on the prior Friday. And again, the only thing you can say about this is volume sequentially declining pretty much. But MACD's crossed here, and I don't know, it looks like we're probably going to grind higher on this reopening trade. And I think that with the IWM, you've got a lot of banking shares in the IWM, probably the highest percentage, which is one reason the IWM is trending higher here. The banks have been doing really well. Financials, we'll get into that in a second. Again, here you can see on a week looking really good, all-time high, breaking there. The dollar, after having that big surge, had a big pullback, bit of a pullback here on the rest of the week, and again tried to gap up on Friday and pulled back again. So dollar looking a little weak here, which actually might help gold in the emerging markets. Bitcoin, this isn't updated. It went over 60,000. It just breaking out from this prior high here, and it just looks like it's going to continue higher. So really crazy Bitcoin move here. So let's take a look at the sectors quickly here. Discretionary coming right back after this big sell-off. Huge V reversal on this nice doji candle here. So I had a really good week last week. The discretionaries, companies like Starbucks. Communications still flirting with their all-time high. Technology still having some challenges here, as we've been talking about with the Qs. Industrials breaking out new all-time highs. Of course, the value trades like Caterpillar, Deere, that kind of those kinds of companies. Materials still looking really strong, all-time highs. Energy has been really good. Little stalling pattern here on energy. The staples again breaking out here. Real estate markets, or the REITs, are really breaking out. I'm surprised at that. XLF utilities bounced back here after a nice double bottom. So A lot of the sectors looking pretty strong. Technology probably the standout that's struggling to get to all-time highs. Quick look at the actives, stuff I'm in right now, DBA, Agriculture Fund, still holding this 20 moving average. Thinking I might add to it here on Monday. It's still looking pretty good. Inflation is definitely in the cards as we get more money going into the economy. More stimulus checks coming, and here's BCRX. Had a nice breakout on Friday from this level, or Wednesday, I should say. Pulling back today, and or on Thursday, Friday, I should say. And this is a sort of a common pattern. We break to a new high, and then we pull back, check back to this sort of 12 level, and then we bounce higher. So I'm looking for a continuation. If we start to break down from 12, I will get out of that one. DBA we already talked about. Ford, this is I'm in this one for months into the summer for sure, and it's really doing well. I'm playing long dated calls, which I don't often do, but I just thought it was a decent way to play that for a long-term move. KRE, again, this is a regional bank ETF. As long as interest rates keep going up, this will do well. And NUS, still in NUS, it looks like it's trading in a middle range bound here, and I'll be looking for it to break out, and if it can get up to 54 or 54.50 to this moving average, I'll probably take some more off there. RSI is looking good. Everything on this chart is looking pretty decent. Willow still in that for a longer term play. Walmart, I got into Walmart last week, mentioned that in the room, and yeah, I've had a really nice move. This is kind of both fundamental and technical sort of play here. So really like the sell-off here. You can see stochastics really got oversold into this level. This is usually where stocks will bounce when you see these really low numbers on the stochastics. Like the idea MACD was crossing here, and I just like the story with the checks coming out, and where do they get spent? Walmart, Costco, Target. I think all of the stocks charts in any of those companies look like Walmart. So sort of playing this one, there's a fundamental story, and really like the bottoming action on it as well. So that's why I got long on that one and still holding it. Let's take a look at the weekly here. And you can kind of see here when you sort of go back out and look at it from a higher level view. That's why it's always good to look at these stocks from multiple time frames. You can see here, this is pretty much why it held this level as well, which you didn't see on the daily chart. So let's take a look at a few stocks I got on watch here, wrap things up. OLN, it did break out. Again, there's one of these patterns, breakout, then pullback. Wasn't a very convincing breakout, but I'll be looking at this one here on Monday. And you can usually keep a pretty tight stop on that one if we get in, under 32, and then use 32 as a stop. PLTR, I'm kind of watching this one. It kind of looks like it's putting in a bottom. There's an awful lot of volume. There's a big volume shelf here, which is going to provide some significant level of resistance when it starts trading up in this area. So if we can break out from sort of the 30 level, I think it could be a good play. So I've got an alert set on that one. RCII, still haven't gotten into that one. That's had a really nice breakout. And again, I'll be looking for a pullback to get into that one. You don't want to chase these things because you end up buying at a high and then they pull back, and then you have to decide whether you're going to stop out, and it might just be a pullback. Silver, keeping an eye on this. We had a good day Friday, even though it was down on the day. Just gold and silver have been really performing badly. I would say they've been really choppy. STO and STNE, I really like this one on the daily. You can see here, it held some support here, big volume shelf here, and another area where it found support and bounced, and again another area where it seems to be finding some support, and liking this one, and possible reversal here with the stochastics down under 30. VISL, if you like smaller dollar value stocks, this one looks like it's ready to bounce. sort of using 3 as a stop, but we'll see what that one does in the morning. XLE, just keeping an eye on that. It does look a little toppy here. So if you got some energy plays, be careful about that. XLF, again, just spoke about that one. Still looks like it's going to go higher. And yin here is another one. It's a Drexian China Bull ETF. And just keeping an eye on this one because it does look like it's putting in a bit of a bottom here. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that one, although these ones tend to be quite volatile and because there are a beta ETF, so just be careful with that. So that's it, everyone. Yeah, just for the week ahead, just keep an eye on those yields on the treasuries, and just be aware that there may be some volatility with the FOMC meeting and with Chairman Powell speaking. Just watch out for those days. And yeah, Nike and FedEx reporting this week, and trend is your friend, and it does definitely look like trend is going to continue higher next week. And watch the cues because maybe we found a bit of a bottom here, and interest rates are flattening out, so the cues may make a nice move back. So this is my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade. If you haven't checked it out, it's there. And as usual, we will be kicking off the pre-market show. First pun up will be Jared at 8 o'clock. He'll talk about the markets overall, and then Norman Carlos will take us through the stocks in play. And then after that, we will be trading the market open at a 9:30. So hope everyone's had a great weekend. We'll look forward to hopefully seeing you in the morning live on YouTube and then trading the market open. Bye for now, everybody. Have a good one.